What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the channel. Just got done cranking out some cartoon videos in the Daily Man Bear Minute. To all, tuning in on the channel, much love and respect. I'm not going to spend too much on here. It's basically to get like a soundboard and to reach out to my listeners and everyone that are subscribing in on the channel. Basically, to give a rundown what's going to happen in the new year. I've actually threw out some challenges out there. I have something, happening on TikTok where I'm actually at about like 700 and some odd followers. I'm actually trying to boost it up to 1,000, and I know that's not really asking for much, but being that this has been about like a 4 or 5 month endeavor, it's been, quite a while. And, much love and respect to everybody who has been following and bumping up the algorithm and, feeding the machine. Man, I gotta agree. It's a pretty good thing. It was kind of nerve wracking at first, but, once you find your footing and find, your place and the people that you want to try to reach out to, and the content that you want to make, I think that's pretty much a clear goal. Me, I tend to lean more toward the comedy aspect, and if I'm going to freaking do anything, I'm going to go for like full force. I'm trying to go at it like full speed, kind of bring y'all into the fold, and keep everything like the camera situated on what's going on, because I've had a lot of emails and a lot of people wanting to pull this channel and pull this creation in a certain direction, where it's like oh, you need management, or you need this, you need blase, you need a certain type of template to grow. And one thing that I've always noticed, just from like pulling off of life experience, I kind of wish I would have gotten this done like, 2 or 3 years ago, to, get the real feel of it, because that's what it is. And I've even took notice of this myself, that even, the content creators that I follow, I've literally, watched them freaking, grow from like a small outfit to a big deal. But excuse me while I go get something. I need to have some type of music to break the monotony of this, because other than that, it's just like a blank sounding wall. So just excuse me for just 1 minute. Gotta get a little music in here. Don't mean to freaking step on any kind of toes. Ain't trying to break any kind of copyright laws or any kind of music crap. So if the music does come across and it can be heard by the powers that be, just let it be known that right below me is a big ass folder about real thick of freaking CDs. So all the music that I freaking play, I technically have paid for it and I own it, and I get it. The freaking YouTube and all these other social sites, don't want you making any kind of monies off the song. But I'm like, you know what? In these kind of scenarios, I kind of tend to tell them to lay off, because I grew up on freaking like your morning shows with your Howard Sterns and your Bubba the Love Sponge, and there was nobody wagging the finger at them guys for if you heard like a Tom Petty or a Boston song during their freaking set while they're talking over it. I actually kind of enjoyed the music, in the background, because you can be like, oh man, these guys are listen to some pretty cool tunes. But now I'm about to put a little music on to at least, break some of the monotony up in this piece. A little, put on a little Tom Petty. Speaking of Tom Petty, put on a little Tom Petty. But no, I mean, basically to get like, I'm doing this live, and I noticed that nobody's tuning in yet, and it's like probably nobody will. But I just got a lot of things that I have to say, and I've been recently putting this links and putting my name out on other platforms such as Rumble and Facebook. But being with this broadcast, I'm probably only going to make it about maybe 20 to 30 minutes long. I know I put the on the page that the premiere or whatever type of junk is going to be starting at 12. But you know what? It gave me the freaking option to go live, so I just hit the button there. Haven't noticed anybody tuning in yet, but you know what? Uh, I kind of have to think of this as like a learning experience. You know, it's like I'm growing a small plant, and right now it's like a sproutling, and you know, just got to keep nurturing and caring and watering for the plant, and you know, love the experience. You know, love it or hate it. I have noticed that when we, you know, at least when I grow older, it was kind of like hard to like, you know, tell me this at a younger stage, but now every time I come upon an experience, whether it be good or bad or even somewhere in between, I always have like these two type of things that are going through my head where it's like, you know, how can I freaking how can I turn this freaking scenario into a learning experience or a learning moment? Or how can I turn this into a teachable moment? You know, as we age, we tend to like step away from all that mean, you know, fighting and you know getting busted up hard. Don't get me wrong, I've had my share of skirmishes in the past, but I have been blessed to not really be like one of them fighters that always had to get into a fight to prove his point. No, one thing is for certain is just that I guess it's just in my makeup, and I've always loved I've always loved and been fascinated by my brain. You know, I've always had one of them learning type of brains where it's like I can almost be like a pain in the ass sometimes because I always had like a boatload of questions coming up as a kid. And I was, you know, blessed to have, you know, elders around me that would have patience enough to break it down and explain it. Kind of like that song, we'll break it down in a language that you can easily understand, you know, all those type of deals. But no, I've been blessed to have like good people around me, and it's awesome. It's amazing. You know, I think everyone needs that freaking. They need that support network around them. I mean, freaking George Strait put it best, man. If you ain't loving, man, you ain't living. Um, like I'm not going to try to bore y'all with the minutia of everyday life. And yeah, like as always, you know, I think that's why I kind of got to get out there into the space, into the podcast space, or into the spoken word space because I'm one of those type of persons where it's like, you know, approach me. Yes, I may be awkward, bashful, and shy, but if you get to talking on a topic or a situation or a certain kind of thing that pulls my interest, it's it's kind of hard to get me to be quiet, folks. Quite honestly, but no, today will kind of like be like an open seminar and kind of like you know, basically kind of to tie up some loose ends, so to say. Been watching a lot of freaking content, and you know, I can't help but feel like I'm biting these guys' styles. You know, I like the stuff that they're producing. I call it you know, a homage. You know, I like to do my own little take on it because you know I'm here. I was raised up as a kid here in Southwest Florida, and it would always kind of like you know, like here it goes with my brain, where it's like. Geez, you got all these. Let's just put a metaphor into play. Like here in Florida, pretty much the the grass grows all year round, and you're gonna always have like filthy houses on the outside and appearances and all. But you know, long story short, even if they had like, okay, let's just say fictitiously, even if they had like 5,000 big scale landscaping outfits, I don't think all of them they'd be able to cut all the grass here in Southwest Florida. No, there's room. There's room for little old me, you know, wanting to come up. And yeah, I understand that I probably should have done this. You know, I understand I probably should have done this freaking a few years ago. Oh wow, I had somebody tuning in there for a while. Dude. But no, I do realize, you know, that they can't freaking cut all the grass, Even if you had like 5,000 to some odd, thousands of pressure washing outfits and or companies, they wouldn't be able to bust all the freaking scum and clean all, pressure wash all the houses. There's always room for one more. I love to read, and one thing that I've always been fascinating are the writings and the mind and the brain of the Stoics, of how they were like, how they can stand, firm and rigid, in times of turmoil and stress. And one of my favorite quotes that I really like from them guys, it's like, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And it's like me, I'm walking along this road and it's like, I can see the path, I see it. But like, for instance, I'm a little bit of an old school guy, so doing this is gonna take consistency. And one thing I can do, that I can give y'all my word that I will be consistent. Um, One thing I do have to address to the public is that, being that I'm branching out on Rumble and all this other, as the world, kind of changes, and as we kind of like mutate into like this thing to where we really got to watch what we speak, and, self edit and self curb our speech, which I am not really a big fan of it. Most of my unedited stuff, it ain't like I'm a big cuss hound anyway, but most of my unself-edited stuff would probably be on Rumble or on my locals. I'm branching out to other channels. Forgive me if this video isn't more orientated towards children, but you know what? I do have multiple channels. I have the Watching Cartoons series, or Watching Tunes series, that is more aimed and focused toward the younger audiences. I'm not trying to exclude anybody. I'm trying to freaking be that. It's all basically upon y'all. I'm basically trying to be that high tide that raises up all ships, or I'm actually trying to be one of them boats that's waiting for a high tide to come. Either way, something's bound to happen. 2025 is a new year. It can be a new year for each and every one of us. One thing you'll find out about on my channel, I'm not a real political person. I don't have a stance. All are welcome. I try to make that known, and in everything that I make and or say. One thing you won't find me doing is trying to put the kibosh on my speech, because, I was raised up in the freaking with the Gen Xers, man, where we slugged each other in the arm when we saw a punch buggy, and we were really rough with each other. But back then we didn't have we didn't have a sounding ball such as this, and we couldn't really like a lot of us weren't really elected to share our feelings as openly as we would nowadays. But no, I like this new approach. I know that some of my sound may be coming off a little bit either high or low, but like I said, this is kind of like an organic process with the small plant. I'm going to feed and I'm going to water this plant, and together we will watch it grow. I can only promise you that I'll try to deliver my best. I'm going to be like that. I'm going to be like the mailman through slate and through sleet, snow, and rain. I'm going to bring it to you. Behind the scenes looks on what things are going on. It stays relatively decent down here in Florida, so ain't no sense that, there's not going to be any pause, basically for the weather, unless it's basically pouring down raining. But even then, I have a camera that's on the way that's going to be able to take care of that. Just ordered a GoPro. I'm kind of, that's just me. I guess I'm late to the party, but I was always told better late than never, so I'm here. I'm gonna crank it out. I'm gonna try to be a little bit funny. I know right now I'm coming off a little milk toast, because this is it's kind of like I made an introductory. I went live about a month ago, but it's almost like, we had that part of the shell to that nut, and this is kind of like the other freaking half. Um, Things are coming up over the horizon for 2025, and I just want everybody to be that person that, you know yeah, life is like kind of like the autobahn, and it's like a super highway. And I know a lot of people and a lot of folks are they're well content on standing on the sides and looking at the race and pointing their finger and getting their speculation, but not the man bear pig. I want to enter into the race. I'm in the course. I have my car. Yeah, it may be kind of sucky now, but you know what? We will grow. We will grow this thing into like a McLaren if we need to. I need you. I need help. I can't do this on my own. I'm old and I could admit that. I can't do this on my own. Um, Things that are freaking hectic nowadays, things that we used to like scoff and laugh at and joke, are now really being taken to like high offenses. And it's like, do you even have to? It's like you shouldn't even have to freaking watch or curb your speech. You should be able to say what the heck you want to say. But I tend to forgive me, I digress. But no, I plan on extending the studio. I plan on getting some posters, getting some stuff, making cool motif. Uh, Plan to do some Dime Store J series in the making. You know, there's a lot of things written down that I want to bring, my mind to paper. That's one thing. I have a fascinating brain, and I'm always, wonders of the world. It's like, they're almost like it's childlike, and I freaking stress to everyone watching this channel, don't ever lose your childlike ability to break things down. I mean, the monotony and the minutia of life is soul crushing and and taxing. Like they say that the things that are certain are death in life are death and taxes. But I'm here to tell you there's a different way. I'm here to tell you that heaven doesn't have to be that floating place in the clouds with with all that gods and shiny shit. But your heaven can be here on earth, and you can achieve it. We deal with things on a big ass freaking scale, but we sometimes tend to look past the things that are right in front of our faces, and I'm guilty of it. And the thing is that with this new year is going to be a new lifestyle. I'm going to try to capture it, and I'm going to bring it all in, and I'm going to share it with y'all, like it or not. I'm going to give you it all. I'm going to give you a taste of everything that's happening in my neck of the woods, warts and all. You know, right now what you're witnessing is the process, and the process will come. I just got to keep at it, keep with it. Hopefully, the people that'll freaking tune in, they'll respond, and they'll give me their spin and their take on things. If I do come off a bit plagiaristic and a biter, it's because I'm learning this trade. But you can only hang on to the beginner tag for so long. And I'm not gonna freaking be one of them ones who are like, oh, sorry, forgive me, I did not know. Yes, I do know, but thing is that my approach to this is kind of a little bit slow. So forgive me if this is seems a bit dated, seems a bit old, but you know what? It's something that has to be said. I tend to move forward. The people tuning in on the channel, the people that comment with their with what they need to say. Forgive me if I don't fire out a quick response in there. I have a lot of things, or I have a lot of what they call so-called irons in the fire. And then on top of everyday life. But one thing I can say is that I'm gonna be consistent with the content. I'm gonna have music review Fridays. I have my reaction videos to things in pop culture. Basically, the ones where I'm kind of like where it looks like I'm biting styles. It's basically kind of like channels that I love to watch, and that every time I'm around the so-called water cooler with my friends, I'm always putting these shows over. I'm like, man, you got to check this guy. You got to see so and so. Oh man, did you get the take on that? Like for instance, the thing that we're talking about lately around the water cooler, are like the New Jersey drone crap, the new Superman trailer. or a few other things. I mean, for crying out loud, they're still talking about the freaking. They're still talking about the Deadpool and Wolverine movie even nowadays. But as men, it doesn't take much of a topic to get us a chuckling and cutting up and a joking at certain things. But no, like I said, I'm not going to try to bore y'all with the minutia and stuff like that. And I realize there's not too many people tuning in yet, but this is like a open seminar on how things are going to go down. Music reviews will be on Fridays. I'll have some. Basically, I've got it written down somewhere. It's out of hand, but a lot of these things, like you're gonna be like, "Oh man, he just made a video on pro wrestling," or "Oh man, he just did a video on the Denver Broncos," or "He just did a video on the Manosphere," or "He just did a video on freaking Super Chicken." That's just the way I wagon wheel. I'm kind of like all over the map. I'm shot out of a cannon some mornings, and some days I just want to kick back and relax and just watch something and just have my periodic pokes on it. But nonetheless, I welcome y'all to the channel, and I welcome y'all to my world. If you're not already liking and subscribing and following to the content, I'm also on TikTok. I'm on Rumble. I'm about to have a Patreon. You can find me on Twitter and/or X. I'm on the Facebooks. I'm on the YouTubes. I'm like Savoir Faire, baby. I'm everywhere. We just got to get in it to win it together, everybody. Let's do it. There's nothing left to, there's nothing left to do. Nothing left to it but to do it. Hewitt, let's get to it. Freaking nah. That's one thing. I'm usually a jovial soul. I just want to get anything out. Sometimes I could be a little bit silly, a little bit zany, a little run down because I had to cover for a friend yesterday and worked on a Saturday. But that's one thing. I usually take my Saturday and Sundays as days for like recuperation. But it just seems like before I know it, it's going to be like, it's going to be Monday morning, like, uh, why it did me like that? Don't do me like that. But no, I know the holidays are around the freaking corner. Merry Christmas and happy holidays to all. I know that's just right around the corner. Going to be getting some days off on that. The camera should be coming in next Thursday, so I'll be GoProing it up. I'll be getting some freaking licks on the skateboarding. Speaking of skateboarding, I'm reviving. Wouldn't say reviving, but taking my spin on Jeff Grosso's love letters to skateboarding. Yes, let's bring the skateboarding back. Let's get the youth out there out on the streets again. That's the crime here in Southwest Florida. It's like, it kind of like makes you want to shake your fist and be mad at the city officials. like like when I lived in Colorado, there were so many skate parks down here. It's like there's only like three skate parks. But when I lived in Loveland, Colorado, there was about at least four of them, and two of them were in my town, and they had a fucking bowl. They had these freaking skate parks down here. You really can't call them skate parks because they're really like a DIY jumble. And not to complain, I take that back. You know, they closed down the Brotherhood skateboard park where Alyssa Steamer and all the rest of them. You know what? True to fact, I never really got a chance to skate that skate park, but I heard a lot about it. If y'all could crank out some footage and/or tales on it, or that just might be a freaking snippet in one of my videos where where I'm gonna go around the town of Fort Myers where I'm at, and I'm actually going to take footage on what used to be, really good places, really freaking awesome places to chill out when I was a boy. That now they're either defunct, bulldozed, or freaking nailed up and boarded over. But like always, man, I'm just going to try to keep this. I'm going to keep this freaking posting brief. I was going to make it a 20 minute a live video. I notice I'm not getting any bites on this fishing feed, but more to come. More to oh, what? Throwing up my Dukes 1930s style boxing. Toss up your Dukes. No, but no, I meant to do the camera reel, but I noticed, man, on this, like my other feeds, everything's kind of like backwards. So it was like, ooh, hey. But no, I won't bore y'all too much with the details, but I kindly ask y'all to tune in, give me a freaking like, give me a comment. Even if it's just like you wanting to toss a little smoke. Hey, as long as it's friendly heat, I'm willing to take the exchange. I'll take the bait. But no, I'm glad to announce that there will be more content to freaking watch. The wee ones are checking in on my channel. This one may not be freaking available to them because I dropped some bombs on it, but I made them a cartoon one earlier, and I plan to make some more in the works. The Man Bear Minute freaking series on the TikTok. Check it out. I got I got a good hook, baby. What can I say, man? I open up my videos with a decent hook. It's like I just want to give all of y'all sons of bitches a big hug sometime. We need this in life. We need to stop with all this feuding and bickering and, scorn tossing. And, we need to stop acting like Karens, man. Especially, I know us Gen Xers and freaking, older. I'm actually an older millennial, so I can't really claim the Gen Xer tag. But you know what? I'm side by side with them fuckers. I'm freaking 43. I'll be turning 44 soon. But in the immortal words of Jack Benny, hey, I'll always be 37. I'll always be 37. But no, to share the same kind of cloth with the Gen Xers, I grew up with the BMX bikes. I grew up with the Powell Peralta skateboards, the T-ball leagues, the Pee Wee football. We were freaking pulling scabs off of our knees and falling out of trees and freaking building stuff. I tell this to everyone and freaking I meet that's 130. You kind of gotta shake them sometime. Like, look, you little turd. You can't put a helmet on life, man. I tell that to everyone I meet, man. So it's time to, get out there and push some wood or freaking hit up a hill on a freaking dyno, man. Go live. Or hell, go, man. You know what's even just as cool? Going out there hitting some dingers at your local at your local baseball place, man. I know they have a place around you that pitches softball at a machine. And a couple of dingers. Damn, man, that's a good one. Or man, just getting out there and being one with nature. I think of it like this. Sometimes we need to like take it all in because this life is finite and you gotta find the beauty in life instead of always trying to like find a splinter in somebody's eye when you got like a full blown tree growing out of yours. But as always, I'm gonna bring this video to a close. I've already took up too much of the public's time, but I'm gonna be cranking out some live videos, and the live ones will probably come out on the weekend because that's really not really have time to do them. Um, to all my freaking 7 subscribers out there, I love y'all dearly. Much love and respect to tuning in on the channel. Let's grow that 7 to 70,000. It's 70 million trillion. It can go. They lied to us. The sky isn't the limit, baby. The freaking galaxy is. And we're coming for it. But I'm not going to take up too much of your time. I realize I've already been on the mic too long. I'm kind of waiting for the freaking remember that show? What's that? The Showtime at the Apollo. Yeah, I'm almost kind of waiting for the freaking Sandman and his hook to just come and grab me by the neck. It just freaking yoke me off there. Get him off the stage. No, but nah, much love and respect. You guys and gals are awesome, and hopefully next time we'll be able to sound off with each other, and I'll check y'all out in the comments board. But like always, much love and respect, and yeah, check me out on the other platforms, on the Rumbles, the Locals, the TikToks, the Patreons, and coming to a town near you, the Man Bear Pig. Let 2025 be the year of the Man Bear. If you haven't heard about my challenge, I'm trying to get them freaking likes up. I'm trying to get the followers up. Going to go with the monkey tail beard. Check out more details on my TikTok. As always, much love and respect. and keep tuning in. I'll keep cranking them out, baby. Bring them on in. Let's settle some scores while having some fun. As always, have an awesome day and enjoy the freaking weekend, at least what's left of it. Peace, and I'll catch you later.